The office smelled like bergamot and bullshit. Graham gestured to the leather chair across from his desk like he hadn't just sent an entire career tumbling with a subject line, restructuring update. His cufflinks glinted under the halogen light. Please, sit. I did. Silently, you've been incredible here, he began, smoothing his tie like it mattered. Truly invaluable. This wasn't easy. Your email said it was structural. I watched his face. Smooth as polished chrome, it is. It is. He nodded, as if that would will it into truth. We're repositioning to be more agile. Brent brings a fresh perspective. I offered. He blinked. Smiled. Exactly. Your nephew. I leaned forward. He's your nephew, Graham. He didn't flinch, which almost impressed me. He's also incredibly qualified. MBA from Kellogg, 2 years at Bernhard and Lowe, internship, I said. Summer associate. Not 2 years. A pause. He reset. It's not personal. You're right. It's not. Because if it were, you wouldn't be smiling while cutting me loose. I'm not. You're celebrating, I cut in, voice even. You're handing your golden boy the keys and hoping I leave without making a mess. He shifted in his seat. I don't want this to sour our relationship. If there's anything I can do, there is, I said. Say it plainly. Say. I was replaced so your nephew could have my job. His jaw tightened. You're angry. I'm accurate. The silence thickened between us. Finally, he said, look, Brent's stepping into a new role, not yours directly. The org charts. Changed, I laughed, short and sharp. You changed the font size. That's all. Graham sighed. You're talented. You'll land somewhere exceptional. Everyone knows that. Will they? I said, rising slowly. Because the man who's known me longest just told the world I'm expendable. He stood too, trying to match my height. Don't do this. I smiled. Do what? Say thank you. His voice dropped. Walk out with your head high. Be proud of the legacy you built here. I met his eyes. Legacies don't get erased in HR memos, Graham. Yours might. Not mine. I turned, wait. I stopped at the door, back still to him. I meant it, he said. You were the best we had. I looked over my shoulder. Then why weren't you brave enough to fight for me? He didn't answer. The elevator was waiting, doors open like a silent invitation to nowhere. Brent stood inside. Of course he did. He grinned when he saw me. Hey, didn't know you were still in. I stepped in. Pressed ground. Apparently. I overstayed my welcome. He chuckled. Awkward timing, huh? Uncle G said it was all pretty sudden. He rocked on his heels. Big shoes to fill. Everyone keeps saying that. They're right, I said. He turned toward me, eyebrows raised. Any advice? I faced forward. Don't speak when you should be listening. Okay, he said, dragging the word out. The elevator dinged. Lobby. I stepped out first. Hey, Brent called after me. No hard feelings, right? I turned. Took 3 slow steps back until we were face to face. You want my blessing, I said. You want to walk into my office with a clean conscience and no ghosts in your inbox. He opened his mouth. I raised a hand. I worked 17-hour days for 5 years. I rebuilt this client base after your uncle tanked it with his last visionary hire. I taught half the team how to close without begging. And you, I looked him over. Showed up with a nameplate and a favorite mug. Brent swallowed. Look, I didn't, you didn't earn it. But you'll take it. Because you can. He looked away. You're right. That stopped me. He met my eyes. You're right. I didn't earn it. But I'm not gonna apologize for accepting it either. A flicker of something. Honesty? Arrogance? Didn't matter. I nodded. Good. Then don't expect me to clap while you stumble through your first pitch. He blinked. Wasn't planning to. I walked to the revolving door. Hey, he called again. I know you're pissed. But I'm not your enemy. No, I said over my shoulder. You're just the symptom. And then I was gone. Out. Into the cold air where no one called my name, and nothing needed to be said. The train jerked forward and the windows blurred. I kept my hand still, pressed tight, and my lap.my phone buzzed. Elise, he told the team it was your idea. The transition. I stared at the screen. The lie didn't sting anymore. It settled. Like ash. I typed back, still playing the benevolent executioner. I see, she responded instantly. Elise, you want to talk? I hesitated, then, call me. The phone lit up. Elise. Are you okay? Her voice was soft, like she already knew the answer. I looked out at the city sliding past. Define okay. I can't believe he spun it like that. You can, I said. You just didn't want to. She was quiet. Then, you're right. I closed my eyes. He said I was instrumental. Right before he handed my desk to his nephew. I didn't know about Brent until this morning. I believe you. HR's calling it a strategic pivot. They're changing the org chart again. They're changing the plaque on my door. Elise exhaled hard. I should have done more. You sent me a screenshot. That's more than anyone else. You built this place, you know that, right? I smiled bitterly. Doesn't matter. I was still naive enough to believe I mattered. You did. You do. I let the silence fall. The wheels beneath me groaned over track. Then, remember. That night we stayed till 2 prepping for the Calder pitch. I asked, you mean the night you rewrote the deck after Graham decided colors felt off? I laughed. Yeah, that one. You didn't leave until you'd coached me through my talking points twice. I never told you this, but I bombed the rehearsal before that. Graham said I wasn't leader material. I leaned back. He always liked clipping wings before people could fly. You kept me from quitting. And now I'm the one being escorted out. She didn't answer. I pressed on. All those client wins. All those reviews. And not one of them gave me armor when it counted. I'm so sorry. No, you're not. She sucked in a breath. What? You're angry. And you should be. But don't waste it on sorry. I'm scared, she whispered. I saw what they did to you. How fast. How clean. Beautiful, wasn't it? I said. A perfect little beheading. Not a drop spilled. God. Her voice cracked. I walked out of there today and no one looked up. Not even Jen. She cried after you left. She should have cried before. I'm not going to survive here, am I? She asked. You'll survive. But don't mistake that for living. What do I do? You stay until you know exactly where the exits are. And then you run. And you? I'm already gone. She was quiet. Then, you're not done. I know you. I opened my eyes again. No. I'm not. Another pause. Are you going to burn it all down? Not today. Will you tell me when? No, she let out a breath. I hope I'm far away when it happens. No, you don't. Right, she said. I don't. The train slowed, platform rising into view. Elise? Yeah? Don't. Let them polish your silence and call it gratitude. She didn't speak, but I heard the shiver in her breath. Good night, I said. Goodbye, she whispered. I hung up. Slid the phone into my coat. Outside, the city waited, sharp, unsentimental. And honest. It never once promised to love me. That's why I trust it. The restaurant was dim, tucked behind a florist and pretending not to be expensive. Elise waved from a corner booth, half a bottle of red already deep. You came, she said. Curiosity's a hell of a drug. I slid in across from her. She poured. I shouldn't have waited, she started. You didn't drag me into this. You were just the only one who looked back. She nodded, eyes glassy. Still. You should know what really happened. I raised the glass. Go on. She hesitated. Brent's been shadowing Graham for months. Since March. I didn't blink. Before my March review. Before your raise, she said. Graham called it succession planning. He used my title as a placeholder. Elise looked away. I saw your Wilder deck on Brent's desk last week. I set the glass down. It's not even submitted yet. I know. My fingers curled. He had access to my drive? They copied everything. Strategy folders. Templates. Even your pitch notes. I leaned in. When? Late April. IT pushed a sync update. I thought it was normal. I didn't connect the timing until they reassigned Wilder to Brent. I laughed. Of course they did. Elise winced. They called it client realignment. They used my words. My wins. My instincts. I kept my voice low. And gave it to a man who hasn't earned a single scar. Elise reached across the table. You were never supposed to find out. Why tell me now? Because I watched you break your back for that account. I watched you rehearse alone in empty conference rooms. And I kept quiet. I hate that I kept quiet. I looked at her hand but didn't take it. And now? Now I want to help. How? I've been backing up files. Proof. Timestamps. Emails. Internal messages. Why? She sat back. Because you taught me to be brave. And I'm finally ready. I studied her. They'll come for you next. I know. Are you ready for that? Her eyes didn't flinch. No. But I'm done being safe in a system that sharpens knives behind smiles. I nodded once. Send everything to a clean address. External only. No. Trace. I already did. That surprised me, she shrugged. Wasn't sure you'd meet me. But if you did, I didn't want to waste time. You always were better than you let them see. I learned from the best. The waiter came and went. Neither of us touched the bread. What will you do? Elise asked. I don't know yet, I said, but you will. Soon. She exhaled. I'm scared. You should be. And you? I looked her in the eye. I've never felt clearer. We clinked. Glasses without smiling. Everything had changed. And nothing would ever go back. The glass wall hummed with tension. Brent cleared his throat, clicker in hand, standing too close to the screen. And if we execute phase 2 by Q3, we'll see exponential lift in, Ms. Kovacek's segment. Kovacic, Jared corrected. Voice dry as sandpaper. Brent stuttered. Right. Kovacic. Apologies. Jared didn't blink. Go on. Brent fumbled to the next slide, my timeline repackaged in Wilder's colors. The milestones, the KPIs, every inch of it wore my fingerprints. I sat quietly at the back of the room. Elise had gotten me the invite under consulting observer. Graham hadn't noticed. Brent straightened. Our team believes this omnichannel pivot will maximize touchpoints. And what's the core message of the brand relaunch? Jared interrupted. Brent froze. The core message, Jared repeated. Simple ask. Brent glanced toward the doorway, then back. Connection and innovation? Jared leaned back. That's cute. Not what I told your strategist 3 months ago, though. Brent's ears flushed. Jared turned his head. Slowly. Did you write this, Mr. Thorne? Parts of it, Brent lied. Which parts? The tone. The cadence. I stood. He didn't write any of it. Brent whipped around. What the hell, it's fine, Jared said. Let her speak. I stepped forward. Calm. Sharp. I wrote this proposal. Every milestone. Every metric. Every line. Brent looked at Graham, who'd suddenly found something fascinating in his water glass. Jared tilted his head. So you're the strategist I met at Summit last fall? Yes. You asked me about my daughter's dissertation. No one else remembered I had one. I nodded. Sit. He gestured to the chair Brent had just vacated. I sat. Brent didn't. Out. Jared said without turning. Brent faltered. Wait, out. He left. Jared folded his hands. So? Why is your work wearing another man's suit? Because Graham thought legacy could be replicated. Because nepotism's faster than merit. You. Let them steal it? They didn't ask permission. He studied me. Why show up now? Because Wilder deserves a partner who can say Kovacek properly. And because I'm done letting boys play dress up with my work. A smile touched his lips. What's phase 4? I didn't flinch. Global influencer alignment. Spanish, Korean, and Urdu markets. Pre-cleared vendors. Subagency drafts already on file. Backend channels? CRM sync through Daylight, branded micro-content fed to conversion touchpoints via Retool. And your fee? Double what you were going to pay them. But half the cost over time. Jared stood. You're hired. I met his eyes. Not unless it's on my terms. Name them. I want attribution. I want authority. And I want my name on the work. He extended a hand. Then welcome to Wilder. I took it and didn't let go. Do you remember what you said to me, Graham? He looked up from his desk, startled. You'll need to be more specific. The day we launched the Synergy campaign. You said, this is what leadership looks like. He smiled faintly. I meant it. No, I said. You meant, this is what I can steal if I smile wide enough. Now that's not fair, isn't it? You drank my pitch philosophy over cappuccinos. You let me think we were brainstorming when we were blueprinting your next theft. I valued your insight. You studied it. Like a parasite. I gave you frameworks, tone models, user psychology. You were paid well. I bled for that deck. For every deck. And then you handed my work to a man who thought strategic empathy meant being nice in emails. Graham leaned back. Brent had potential. He had access. That's not the same thing. He worked hard. He rehearsed what I wrote. He sighed. This bitterness doesn't suit you. You don't get to pick my wardrobe anymore. The door opened behind me. Brent stepped in, smug in another overpriced jacket. Oh. I didn't realize this was still my time, I said. It is. He moved to the corner, but I turned to face him. Remember when you asked me how to reframe a rejection email so it sounded human but firm? Brent's smirk faltered. Sure. I wrote 3 templates. You used them in 5 campaigns. Did you thank me? I mean, yeah, no. You smiled. Nodded. Then copied my structure into your pitch journal. I didn't, you did. And you practiced my metaphors in front of the mirror until you could pass them off as instincts. Graham cleared his throat. He's learning. He's repackaging. Brent stepped forward. You're just mad it worked. I'm mad I didn't see it coming. He shrugged. You gave it freely. I gave mentorship. You took authorship. It's not theft if it's shared. I walked to him. Did you ever build anything without using someone else's bones? Does it matter? Yes, I said. Because now people know which bones were mine. Graham stood. You're overplaying your hand. No. I'm finally holding it. I walked to the door, paused. You both thought I was generous because I didn't protect my work like a weapon. You forgot generosity is a choice, not a weakness. And I left them with that. Let them choke on it. Lena met me at the cafe with 2 lattes and a folder already marked up in highlighter. This better be a coup, she said, sliding the folder across. It's a proposal, I said. But yes. A bloody one. She grinned. I've missed this version of you. I've missed being worth your time. You never stopped. They just stopped seeing it. I opened the folder. Wilder wants elegance. But their market shift demands sharp turns. They don't know how to do both. You do. She flipped to a sketch. This layout sings. I want you to lead the look and feel. Typography through campaign rollout. What's the budget? Lean. But fair. She leaned forward. Then I'm in. No agency bloat. Just us? And a few ghosts I've kept fed over the years. She sipped her drink. You're really doing it. I already started. Tarek joined us an hour later, lankier than I remembered, but with the same thoughtful eyes. You actually called me, he said, dropping into the chair. Thought I was just your myth now. You were never a myth, I said. You were. Just better than they wanted to admit. He looked at Lena, then me. Okay. What's the pitch? I slid over a tablet. He scanned it silently for a full minute. Jesus, he said. You're going to wipe them. That's not the goal. Lena arched a brow. It's not the goal. Tarek grinned. You want me for data? Insight mapping. And the rollout feedback loops. He nodded slowly. You always said feedback wasn't just for creatives. Because it's not. It's leverage. I'll build a model, he said. Automated sentiment tracking. Layered against phase benchmarks. Clients eat that up, Lena added. They should, I said. It works. Tarek looked at me. You sure you want me? I'm not fancy. No titles yet. You're precise. You listen. And I trust you. That quieted him. Then yeah, I'm in. By dusk, we'd cleared a full whiteboard in Lena's shared studio. Who's next? She asked. Martin, if I can get him. Voiceover work. And that producer in Seattle who owes me 2 favors. You sound like a mercenary, Tarek said. I sound like someone who kept receipts. Lena sat cross-legged on the floor. You really think Wilder will bite? I'm not giving them a choice. By the time this lands, we'll be the only team that speaks their language. And if they flinch? Tarek asked. Then I walk with the full campaign and let their competitors feast. Lena laughed. God, I love vengeance that sells. I started collecting the printouts. This isn't revenge. Sure it is, she said. It's just well packaged. Tarek looked up. You gonna tell them who wrote it? They'll know. He nodded. And Graham? Won't see it coming. We sat in silence a beat too long. You good? Lena asked. I'm focused. You look haunted. I'm both, I said. But that's where I work best. Lena smiled. Then let's get to work. Jared looked up as I entered. No assistant, no handshake. You wanted this off calendar, he said. I needed clarity, not courtesy. Then let's have it. He gestured to the chair across from his desk. I didn't sit down. I placed the folder down. This is the original. The deck. The real one. The version I never got to present. He glanced at it. They said it was yours. They didn't say how much. He studied me. Walk me through it. I opened the folder. Start with slide 3. He flipped. Paused. That tagline. He said, they cut it. Said it sounded too honest. I liked it better. So did your market tests. We ran them quietly. /BD it with your current messaging. It beat theirs by 12 points. Jared looked at me. You tested this. Without approval? I tested it before they replaced me. He leaned back. Go on. I walked him through the structure. Not just the concept, but the rationale. Why we laddered from identity to loyalty. Why the sequence mattered. Every point was mapped, intentional. This is cleaner, he said. Smarter. It's also mine. He closed the folder. So what do you want? I want credit. And the contract. You're not with the agency. No. I'm what they pretended to be. Jared studied me. Tell me the whole story. I folded my arms. Brent shadowed me under the pretense of mentorship. Graham praised collaboration. I shared ideas, frameworks, language. Then suddenly, the deck was team developed and I was redundant. And they pitched me that. They pitched you a ghost of what it was meant to be. He rubbed his jaw. Why come to me now? Because I believe you're smarter than them. You're not here to whine. No, you're here to win. I nodded. And to give you the version that actually delivers. He tapped the folder. This can be proven? Everything's timestamped. Drafts. Emails. Versions. If you want proof, I'll bury you in it. I don't need to be buried. Then read the damn work. He looked at me. You're angry. I'm precise. He smiled slightly. Good. I don't want a seat at their table, I said. I want to build a new one. With me? With whoever values results over comfort. And if I say no? Then you'll get a competent campaign that forgets itself halfway through. And I'll take this to someone hungrier. He was silent for a long beat. Do you want to run it? He asked. I already do. He nodded. What else? My team stays intact. Lena. Tarek. Martin. All of them. Done. And public credit. No more hiding behind consulting. Of course. He stood and extended his hand. Welcome to Wilder. I took it. Just one more thing, he said. That I waited. That he leaned in slightly. If you ever pitch this good again, invite me to the rehearsal. I smiled. You wouldn't survive it. I'd like to try. Elise called before noon. Her voice carried heat and disbelief. Are you watching the news? No, you should be. I pulled up the feed. Wilder cuts ties with Thorne and Rowe, taps independent firm for global relaunch. My photo ran beside. Jared's quote, I wanted to be the one to tell you, she said, you're the first. They didn't see it coming, she whispered, I know. You should have heard Graham this morning. He stormed into the war room like he was still in charge of something. What did he say? He accused the comms team of leaking it. Said it was sabotage. He always did confuse truth with betrayal. He kept demanding a meeting. With Jared. And? Elena told him Wilder already signed a 6-month retainer, with you. He did. A pause. You really did it. No. We did. Brent hasn't shown up since Tuesday. His last LinkedIn post was a quote about resilience. I laughed. Let me guess, white text on a dark mountain? Exactly that. Unoriginal to the bitter end. Elise dropped her voice. He tried to throw me under the bus. Said I'd mismanaged cross-team documentation. Let me guess. Wilder asked why the campaign briefs sounded like someone else wrote them. Close. Jared wanted context on a doc Brent sent with your metadata still embedded. I smiled. That'll do it. They're losing Crane and Morrow. Already? And Talus is reviewing the contract. They never had loyalty. Just inertia. Elise was quiet. Then? What does it feel like? To win? To be seen. I looked out the window. Like breathing after holding it for 5 years. She exhaled. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You stayed long enough to light the fuse. I think I'm ready to leave. You are. You think it's time? You knew it the day you called me. Now you just need to say it out loud. A pause. I'm done, then. Say it again. I'm done. You're free. Elisa's voice softened. They underestimated you. They always do. I hope they keep doing it. So do I. Graham was already standing when I walked in. Glass walls, sterile light, false calm. Thanks for coming, he said. You didn't leave much room to decline. I just wanted to, he hesitated, searching, clear the air. I sat. So clear it. He gave a weak laugh. You were always direct. You were always vague. Graham took the chair across from me, palms flat on the table like he was trying to steady something. Things have shifted. You mean collapsed? He blinked. There's been turbulence. But we're recalibrating. How's Brent? Graham flinched. He's reassessing options. Still can't pronounce Kovacic, I bet. He smiled, brittle. I didn't bring you here to argue. Then why am I here? He looked me in the eye. Because I underestimated you. And that's on me. Stop flattering. Start talking. I made mistakes. You made choices. He leaned forward. I want to make it right. You can't. I can try. No, I said. You want to survive. Silence. You took everything I built, I continued, and handed it to someone who couldn't even hold it without breaking it. You thought I wouldn't fight back. That I'd vanish quietly, like the others. I didn't expect you to go public. You expected me to be grateful for the betrayal. He looked down. I reached into my bag and slid a folded sheet across the table. What's this? Read it. He opened it slowly. His face fell. My resignation email, I said. Dated. Timestamped. 3 weeks before Brent's appointment announcement. He scanned the page. You saved this? I save everything. He looked up. What do you want from me? Nothing, I said, rising. Just for you to remember. Remember what? That I left before you pushed. I met his eyes. Calm. Cold. You didn't end me, Graham. You just made room. Then I walked out, and let the glass close behind me. The key turned with a soft click. White walls. Natural light. One long window looking over the city I'd bled in. The plaque on the door read my name. Not borrowed. Not delegated. Mine. Lena's voice came from behind me. Still smells like paint. I smiled. Good. Means no one's stained it yet. You want a tour of your own office? I've already walked it in my head 100 times. She leaned in. Your plant's here. I kept it alive. You always did have a knack for reviving things. Tarek arrived with 2 coffees and a grin. I told the front desk you were creative leadership. I am creative leadership. I know. Just feels good saying it. I stepped inside, crossed the polished floor, touched the edge of the desk. Feels different, Lena said. It is. You miss it? Tarek asked. The old place? No, not even a little. I missed who I was there. But she's here now. Lena set down her laptop. Calendar's filling up. Jensen from Parallax wants a call. He'll wait. And Wilder's first quarterly review? I'm ready. Tarek raised an eyebrow. You're not nervous? Nervous is for people who still need permission. They both smiled. I looked at the wall opposite the door. Blank. Ready, that's where we build from, I said. Lena followed my gaze. Vision board. No. Mirror. Tarek laughed. You want to stare yourself down every morning? Yes. They were quiet. I turned. Every day I worked under someone else's name, I forgot my own face. That ends now. Lena nodded slowly. I'll call maintenance. Tell them I want it unframed. Floor to ceiling. You're serious, Tarek said. Always. He handed me the coffee. Then let's build something impossible. Something undeniable, I corrected. My phone buzzed. Elise. I answered. Hey. You open it yet? Just did. Does it feel like yours? It is mine. She exhaled. I'm proud of you. Come see it. Soon. Don't wait too long. There's a seat with your name on it. I know, she said. And that's the first time anyone's ever said that and meant it. I hung up and looked around. This wasn't a victory lap. It was a foundation. They took everything they could from me, and still, here I stood. Unbent, unbought, ready. The cursor blinked once. Twice. Then I typed, Graham, you won't hear from me again after this. I'm not writing to rehash what happened. You already know. You knew the moment you handed Brent that deck and pretended not to see my initials in the file path. This isn't revenge. That part's over. I'm writing because I needed to say thank you. You taught me exactly how not to lead. You taught me that charisma without character is just noise, that loyalty only means something when it's mutual, that mentorship should never come with a knife behind the back. You showed me what it looks like to shrink from talent instead of growing it. To protect power instead of earning trust. To reward flattery instead of courage, and for that, truly, I'm grateful. You freed me from any illusions I had left. About the game. About the players. About you. I hope you understand, I don't hate you. I don't need to, because I'm not the woman who needed your approval anymore. I've built something of my own now. With people who see me. Who rise with me, not on top of me. I'm writing this not for closure, but for clarity. So you know I didn't vanish. I didn't fade. I rose. You'll never reply. I know that, and honestly, I prefer the silence. May. Reread it once. No edits, just truth. Then I hit send, and closed the tab. It didn't ping. No confirmation. No reply, just quiet, the clean, final kind, the kind that says, we're done here.